All right, meeting's recording. Let's go, guys. First podcast ever. I'm ready to go. So
Yeah,
you
I think
drinking
that
for the podcast?
what?
I said you drinking for the podcast?
I know, but you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on this medication and it doesn't let me drink. It's called fentanyl, but like no, it's actually Accutane. It's actually Accutane, but
Yeah,
I'm in kind of like a health kick right now. Like I'm doing Accutane. I'm going to therapy. I'm getting my allergy shots cured. So like I
nice.
just turned 30 and I'm like I was like a real unhealthy fucking 20-year-old and now like I'm like ready to get all my shit in order before I get married or have an arranged marriage, whichever fucking thing happens.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Yeah.
been like so in my year of traveling around the world, I got super unhealthy just because like I don't know, I just used it as an excuse to just like live like a complete piece of shit. And so I got to Victoria, which is where I am right now, it's a city in Brazil. And I was just like, all right, like now that I'm kind of like back to real life, but just in South America, I need to start like eating healthy and working out again. So I'm on week 2 of that. So
Oh, congrats, dude. Well, I mean, dude, you're just fat. Like, if you were ugly, that'd be way worse. Because then there's no hope, even if you're skinny. So stay fat, keep the hope alive.
yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
say, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So
All right,
one
cool.
thing I was saying is that like an interesting thing about traveling around the world and like being exposed to different cultures is that just like I think that people in America have this really weird perspective on other people's cultures that like fucking like puts them on this weird pedestal. Like for example, like going around Southeast Asia, you just like one example. Like Southeast Asians are some of the most racist people I've met in my life. Like
Oh
like
yeah.
dude, like Indonesians, like I'm, don't want to say anything offensive to you specifically, but they fucking hate Indians.
Oh, dude, let it go, bro. Let it all out. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
literally like at least 7 different Indonesians went on massive rants to me about how much they hate Indian people, and like I was
Yeah.
supposed to meet up with this girl in Cambodia, and I was like, and then that didn't work out. I was like, all right, I'm going to India next, and then like she was like, yeah, I'm not going to India. Like I do not want to
Yeah.
be around.
The thing about Indians is there's a lot of like, the send bobs and vagine energy. It's
Yeah,
kind of like they do that in real life. I think a lot of the culture is like when you're, and maybe it's changed now, but when my parents were kids, men and women are kind of raised separately. I think the new younger Indians are becoming more normal, but like, I think there's like, if you just are raised too separate from girls, you don't know how to talk to them. And then you're just like, oh, like you have nice bobs and nice vagine. Let me see. It's kind of that situation.
yeah.
But in Indonesia, so speaking of Indonesia and Thailand, my friend was dating a Thai girl, and like I talked to her for a bit on FaceTime, and she's like, "You're like the first like nice normal Indian I've met," and I'm like, "Wait, what are Indians like over there?"
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the
Like,
problem with a lot with what they have with Indians, and by the way, this is a problem that a lot of like salespeople have in the valley, is that like because India is like a very poor place, like there's a culture of just having your elbows out and like
oh
always
yeah,
like trying to like one up every situation, like oh I'm not gonna tip, oh I'm gonna like negotiate for everything, and like a lot of people and like
yeah,
in India it's not a big deal because everyone does it, and so it's just normal.
yep.
But like in other parts of the world, it's not. And so other people, so like in Indonesia, they're like, oh, these Indian tourists are just gonna try to haggle on me for everything. I think it's more of just like I don't think one is right or one is wrong. Which, by the way, like Indian people are the most successful minority in America, right? So like, there's
Oh, dude, we're the number one richest.
yeah,
We
exactly,
beat Jewish people and Chinese people. It was a surprise to me too. But
yeah. I mean,
like
I'm not
in well,
surprised by it, to
also,
be honest. Like it makes total
oh,
sense.
I am.
Oh, okay.
But think about the Indians they let into America. They're only letting in like the PhD. Like my dad has like a PhD and my mom has like 2 master's degrees. They're
That's
not letting in like, and if you go to actually our mutual friend who you do soccer with, like they have Indians in London that are in gangs. And I'm like, yo, an Indian gangster? They're like, yo, give me all your money, bitch. I'm like, dude, we cannot imagine that in America. You know what I mean?
I was actually thinking about this when I was in Indonesia. Like so like Asians, I'm not talking about South Asians, I'm talking about East Asians, although the same thing applies to South Asians. Like East Asians have this like very nerdy reputation in America. I mean, like
Mhm.
we all kind of know it, right? But like the interesting thing about like Asians in Asia is that like these guys ride motorcycles, smoke cigarettes in
Oh,
chimneys, they gamble
Yeah.
constantly, and they have very hot women. And it's like, why are these guys considered nerds? Like, these are all activities that on their own are objectively awesome. You know what I mean? Like, all
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
are considered cool. Like a guy who smokes like 20 cigarettes a day, like I'm not saying you should smoke that many cigarettes, I'm not endorsing smoking, even though I kind of am, but like it is an objectively
Yeah.
cool activity. Like, why are these people not considered cool? I mean, obviously because they only bring in the PhDs, but still, like, Indian
Yeah, yeah.
Asians in Asia are really fucking cool.
Yo, don't get it twisted. Smoking's really cool, dude. Okay, like vaping is a little bit, yo, you like vaping's a little Gen Z pussy kind of a shit.
Oh,
But like a
100%.
cigar or a cigarette, dude, it's always cool. Don't feel bad about saying that.
So the reason why I had to switch to vaping was I was fucking this girl in Morocco. So I
Yeah.
switched from vaping to cigarettes in India. And then I'd been smoking for like a month and a half. And then I was fucking this girl in Morocco who looked exactly like Dua Lipa, who I have a huge crush on. And like after like
Oh, I love Dua Lipa.
4 minutes, I was just fucking winded. I was just like done. And I was like, okay, I need to
Oh
switch
shit.
back to vaping because I can't be fat and smoke cigarettes. Like I'm not gonna be able.
Well, no, if you smoke cigarettes and do cardio, then you can. You gotta fucking train your lungs, dude.
Yeah,
Like one of my friends runs marathons and he smokes cigarettes like every fucking day. So
yeah.
it's possible to
Gotta
do.
do both. Yeah.
So you got to do it to please your women, dude. Come on. Like, that's why I'm doing all the shit that I said earlier, trying to be like healthy and all that.
Yeah.
Going back to the Asians being nerds things, are these like Southeast Asians? Are these like Thailand and Vietnamese that you think are cool? Or are they like Chinese and Japanese?
So I've only spent a day in China. And
Oh, you went to China? I didn't know that.
so that was years ago. Like I spent a day as like a layover, and I was in Wuhan for a day before the coronavirus. So I can't really
Yeah.
speak about like China because I don't really know it that well. But like they ride motorcycles, they smoke cigarettes, and like they have hot women too. So I think it would apply. One of my theories though is that I don't think Japan is an Asian country. I don't consider Japan to be Asian because like you go to Japan,
Even though it's in Asia?
even though it's in Asia, like you go to like there is a vibe. I'm assuming you've been to India a bunch of times. Like, have you been to other places in Asia, like Cambodia or
Dude,
Thailand?
India, where else? That's it, dude. Why go anywhere else, bro? I just go to the motherland to make the family happy, but I haven't even been there in 4 years, dude.
Like,
You know what a coconut is?
coconut? No, no. What is that?
Coconut, it's brown on the outside, white on the inside.
Oh yeah,
That's what
coconut.
other, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I thought
So
it
that's what
was
I
called coconut. I was like, is that some Indian words, Indian slang? Yeah,
No,
but
what am I talking about, dude? I was in Bali and Thailand also, like the
yeah,
past 2 years. Yeah, I've been to other places.
but like you walk
So
around
Japan,
and
go back to Japan's not a real Asian country.
because like you walk around Thailand and Indonesia or Cambodia, and it like there's a certain feeling about shit, and you just don't get that in Japan. Like there's some bizarre shit that you see. You know what I mean? Like shit's a little run down. You know what I mean? Like you see just like
Yeah.
like for example, like in Indonesia, like I will see like a dad on a motorcycle. His daughter is standing by his feet. He's holding another child on his back. His wife is sitting behind him, has a daughter on her lap too, and a basket. You would never see that shit in Japan. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, so you're saying because Japan is a developed and first world country, that's not an Asian country? What
um,
about China though?
China, you wouldn't China, you would see more of that shit too. Japan
Yeah.
is much more prim and proper. I feel. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot
Yeah.
more like structured society. Like I even went to like a poor part of Japan, and like this place called Shimu, and it was like like a poor like backwards town. And even then, like
Is there like
everything.
Yakuza there?
What?
Is Yakuza even real, or am I just swayed by anime and movies?
I think Yakuza is in the cities.
Oh, okay, cool. So what about in the poor parts? There's no crime?
No, even
What?
even the Yakuza are not really like their type of criminality is kind of like in a weird like third area. Like they have like unofficial relations with the government. It's kind of similar to Russia in a way. Like Japan
Oh
is just the
shit.
type of place where like well, actually this applies to all of Asia. But like one of the crazy things about Asia, like I remember a teacher told me this in high school. I didn't believe him, where he was like, in Asia, you can like take a camera, like $1,000 camera, leave it on the street, come back in an hour, it'll still be there. And like,
Oh yeah.
um, after coming from Asia, like I 100% believe that's true. But like the rest of Asia is a little
So
more like run downish. You know what I mean? Like it's just different vibes.
I heard that about Singapore, where you can just leave your jewelry there and like nobody will take it. Yo, you try that shit in India, that shit will be gone in a second, bro.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that jewelry would be off
Yeah.
while you're walking down the street.
Yeah, they'll try to sell it back to you like 2 seconds afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, dude. I still Japan is like I'm a big like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z anime kind of a guy. So Japan is on like in between whatever next job I get. I think I'm gonna head to Japan and then probably Australia because I
Yeah.
heard that's cool and I heard they party really hard in Australia. Uh,
I I want to visit Japan at least once a year. I would never live in
once
Japan,
a year.
but I love Japan
Oh,
so much. Like
why don't you want to live there?
Japan is a declining country. It is
Oh shit.
severely severe. Like it's
Well, they ain't fucking right. They don't fuck
they don't.
or they don't breed.
That's one of their many problems. But here, I'll fucking share my screen. Like, I'll show
Oh,
you
yeah,
some
let's get
crazy
into
shit
it.
about Japan. But yeah, no, so they don't fuck. They actually had to like have like a national campaign to get young people to have sex in Japan. I told
Yeah.
some Brazilians the other day, and they were like shocked. They were like, "Wait, do you mean like have kids or just have sex?" And they were like, "No, like
Yeah.
have sex." But yeah,
The
here.
two Brazilian dudes that I know have like fucked 100 people before they were like 18.
I
So
didn't
wait.
see that. So this is Japan's GDP per capita. If you look at it
Oh,
today,
it's going down. Okay.
it's 34,000 today. In
What
1995,
about car manufacturing in Japan? Is that still big?
it's still big, but like the problem with the culture is that it's so like rigid and formal.
Yeah.
Like you listen to your boss. You know what I mean? And then, like everything is so structured that they aren't able to innovate in the economy because no one can have new ideas because you have to like talk to your manager as to talk to his manager, type of shit.
And so this might be outside of your realm, but like, why is the art so fucking good? Why is anime so dope? And like, even Japanese music is so fucking good. And the video games are phenomenal, which is all like nerd shit. But I'm like, how do they come up with that if it's such a structured society?
I mean, they're really repressed. So like they come up with dope
Oh,
shit, because as an outlet for all that type of shit. Also, like Japan has felt really humiliated after World War II because
oh, for sure, dude.
they aren't allowed to have a military. And so
Yeah, they better not.
they're just constantly fantasizing about being Japan in 1944 again. You know what I mean? They just really want to be,
Oh, okay.
Nazis again. like like
Yeah, yeah. Well,
if you look at a lot of Japanese movies, like a lot of them, like my buddy showed me this show called Attack on Titan while we're in Japan.
it's one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah, so that movie, like that show, like if you actually like analyze it, is a defense of the Japanese Empire in World War II. Like it is.
Oh, bro, you gotta explain that shit, bro, because that's just giant monsters that are trying to kill everybody. And explain that. Yeah, I want to hear it.
Have you seen the whole show?
I've seen up to the third season, and I didn't watch the fourth season because they did this time skip. And I'm like, bro, like you had a nice continuation, and then I just fell off of it.
Oh,
But the first two seasons are amazing.
so the time skip is where it gets you because what
Oh,
happens is,
that's what. Well, because then it's like they go to a new because the people that were like sending warriors to attack them were like more advanced and evolved people, and they were
yeah.
trying to kill the more primitive ones that had the power to turn into a titan. Yeah.
So they were doing that as retribution for that island's crimes against them. So basically, this
Oh,
island committed crimes against that other country, and now this country was torturing the country that did those crimes, and like was constantly
yeah.
escaping them and destroying them because of it. So if
Well,
you
they're
look
trying
at
to
the map,
genocide him basically.
literally that island is Japan and the mainland is China. And it's like, we've been at war for thousands of years. It's like, no, you guys raped and pillaged China for 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
like this
Yeah,
one,
they were like human experimentation and shit. There was all the Nanching and all that. Yeah.
dude, Japan like has been able to rewrite the history of World War II so well because now they look like
Yeah.
victims, but these people committed just insane atrocities. They killed 29 million civilians. in China.
Yeah, like, so I think I know about that because I looked into the kind of shit that they were doing, dude. Like, I think they would like change people's blood with like animal blood. They were conducting all these, and I think the Nazis were doing that shit too. They have so much in common, the Japanese and the Nazis, dude.
Yeah, so
Except,
like you go to Japan and it actually feels a lot like Germany. Like,
oh shit.
like once you go to Japan and Germany, you're like, I understand why these two countries allied together. Like they have the same vibe.
Yeah, I've been to Germany a bunch, but Germans are tall and white though, and Japanese, they seem very short and meek these days, and they're all
Yeah.
skinny as fuck. Germans are big people. Is that the difference, maybe?
Yeah, I mean it's a
Is that
different
a difference? I don't know.
but I mean I being Polish, I hate Germans. So, we
Dude, everyone hates you. Wait, why? No, I'm just kidding, dude. We don't
yeah.
need to rehash that shit.
uh
Yeah.
yeah, so like
Well, yeah.
sorry, continue.
No, no, you go first.
I was just gonna talk about Nanjing. Like, there's a video I saw where like these Japanese soldiers like took a baby and like threw it up into the air and caught it on
Yeah.
nets, which is some like
Oh,
they're literally like playing dead baby games, which is like like it's literally like a
I
joke.
shouldn't
Like,
be laughing at that shit. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Well, like, honestly, that kind of seems like it requires a lot of dexterity to pull off, but I don't support it.
yeah.
Should we edit that out? No. Okay, no. You know what? We'll leave it in, dude. Fuck it. It's my first fucking podcast ever. Is this podcast just gonna be us like getting into race? Because I kind of love that shit, dude. I'm all
Dude,
about race
you
and
can
different
say whatever you
cultures.
want. I mean, like what other funny thing, if you want to go a little bit more down the race rabbit hole, is that like being in South
Yeah,
America,
let's go.
I heard this as a joke like a few months ago. And after being in South America, I realized how true it is. Like someone was like, Democrats bring in Latinos because they think that they're going to vote Democratic. But if you actually have met like
Yeah,
Latinos, you realize that they're the most
they're Republican as fuck, dude.
like they're
Especially Cubans and Venezuelans. Do you think they're gonna want some more socialist, communist bullshit? Absolutely not.
and I mean like like people in like, the funny thing about Brazil is that like it has this party like reputation which obviously is very
Yeah.
good, but like these people are insanely Catholic. Like they like
Oh.
you go around Rio on Sundays, every store is closed because it's
Oh
Sunday,
shit.
it's like a religious holiday. Like you
Yeah.
talk to the girls and they're like, yeah, no, I'm spending all day Sunday with my family. And like being in America, you're just like, wait, really? Like you'd want to spend a day with your family? Like, but here it's
And
like
if you go to
most
like
important
some
thing.
parts of Europe, aside from Italy, I feel like Europe is a lot less religious than America even is. So
Yeah.
I guess there's levels to this shit. But yeah, I mean, yo, those conquistadors got that Catholicism into the fucking minorities down south, dude. It really worked. And
Yeah.
black people too. Like, I think like the more like fucked up your life is, the more religion, it's like, okay, this is like a nice guiding light to help me through all this bullshit. These libs don't fucking need to be religious, dude, because they have daddy paying for all their fucking college.
So
Like,
I've actually been thinking about this, and I made like a really long video on the channel about this, where like I'm actually becoming a lot more sympathetic to religion. I think it's because I'm just sleeping with so many Latinas, and they're just like getting to me. Like,
fuck yeah,
um,
dude.
but like
I've never had one Latina. I've never dated a Latina. I don't meet them. Even in California, I felt like I barely met any.
it's a roller
It's
coaster.
crazy.
It's a roller
Oh
coaster.
yeah, okay, cool. Sounds like fun, bro. I get on that roller coaster.
But like the funny thing is you say the thing about like liberals don't have religion because their daddy pays for stuff, which in a way is true. But like if you think about like modern day secular progressivism, it really has turned into a religion. Like there are a lot of like
Mhm.
religious aspects to it. Like
Secularism.
yeah, it's weird that like modern secularism has so many like religious traits to it. You know what I mean? Like you have the idea of like original sin. People say like America's original sin is slavery. Like that's original sin. You must
Or the Native Americans.
yeah. I have to say, dude, like I'm becoming more like pushing back on the narrative of how brutal America was in the early 1800s. I'm more just like, dude, like it was a free for all at the time, bro. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we didn't have the same rules back then.
Well, nobody was really doing great. Like, we have the luxury now to be kind. Like, the kindness and empathy that we're able to show each other now is great. That's a fucking luxury, dude. Like, if you need the pyramids built, if you need like shit done, it's way easier. And I don't support this. So, yo, like, fucking CNN, don't come after me. It's way easier to oppress a giant group of people to get things done.
I
That's
mean,
how
look at
it
most of
was
the
done.
war. was literally like
Yeah, yeah.
the norm. Also, do you know what's a funny thing? So you know the term robot, like the word robot.
Yes.
So it
I
comes,
mean, I know what a robot is, but
yeah, it comes from the
what is
Czech.
a term robot?
Oh, sorry, the word robot. So like it comes
Oh,
from the Czech word for slave.
oh, fuck, dude.
So we
Damn,
literally
bro. Now I feel bad. Now I feel a little bad. I didn't know that.
we literally don't need slaves anymore because we have machines as slaves.
Technology is our slave, and once the singularity happens, they're gonna fucking enslave us. It's gonna be like the Haitians with the French. There's gonna be a slave revolt, and that's just gonna be AI, and then we're all gonna be fucking dead, but we'll be in the Matrix and living some orgasmic fucking life in our head. Hopefully, if it's a kind AI.
I actually I actually
You
think
know,
that I think that is I think like I'm thinking more and more about the Matrix and how like I think that like that is very likely the future of humanity. But just as you said, like in a kind way, it's not going to be like you're
yeah,
forced to the pod. It's going to be like, well, you don't have a job, you have this pleasure machine
yeah.
that literally like links up to your brain. It's the same shit, and you just get fed all day. Like now humanity doesn't have to worry about you anymore.
They're not gonna need to take our freedom away. We're just gonna like fucking give it away. And then like, yo, we can eat whatever we want, we can do whatever we want, we can have an AI fucking girlfriend that like gets in our head and like sucks our dick whenever we want. I'm not gonna leave my house.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be in pods. And then what do you think AI is gonna want once it in like fully controls humanity? Once it's fully sentient?
So the reason why I started this channel was actually to argue with AI safetyists about bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I'm very against AI safety. Like my feeling
All
about
right, bro.
okay.
All right, continue, and then maybe we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, so like my feeling about AI is that like I think in general, like as like life forms become more intelligent, they become more benevolent, right? So you see this
Yeah.
both within humanity and between species, right? Like the person who's nice in like high school is like the nerd. You know what I mean? And like the person
Oh,
who's
for sure.
bullying people is the stupid jock, right? And you
Yeah,
know,
read at a third grade level.
exactly. And if you also look at this between life forms, right? Like a snake versus a dog. Like which one is more
Yes.
likely, like which one do you want to leave your child around? You know what I mean? And so I think that like as like AI, if AI ever becomes sentient, right? Like I think it's gonna be far more benevolent than humans. Because the thing that brings out aggression in humans is the survival need, right? This very primal chemical
Yes.
thing. And deprived of that, you're going to have this system that is not going to have any of the sort of desires to conquer, enslave, destroy, all these other things. It's just going to want to sit in the corner and do math problems all day.
So, as someone that went to a very elitist, for lack of a better word, douchebag school in DC, some of those nerds, like, bro, I get like these debate team kids would be such dickheads, dude, because they thought that they were the smartest. They had this hubris, and they're like, no, like I'm the smartest one here. Like I deserve to like tell people how to act. I deserve to do all these different things. There's like a nar or yeah, I guess a narcissism where like without putting in the work, they felt like they were better. Do you think AI will have that? Some sort of an AI narcissist where they'll think it's better than us and be like, I can do whatever I want. Or like, yo, you ever play like a fucking video game, dude? You play Grand Theft Auto, you're going around just fucking killing everybody. It can just because you can sometimes. Why wouldn't an
Yeah,
AI be like,
I mean like so I feel like my debate kids as a former debate kid myself is that I don't
oh,
think
you were? No wonder you're such a fucking douchebag. No, I'm kidding, dude.
is that like I don't think debate kids are actually that smart. Like I think that like it's
Oh,
one of
you
the
don't?
no, not at all. Like I think that it's one of those things where like debate kids are like tier two intelligence and they have this massive inferiority complex around being around people who are tier one intelligence. And like my
You sure about that?
100%. Because like these are people who like literally, as you said, want to tell other people what to do. And the reason why they
Yeah.
do that, I think that is a giant inferiority complex. As being like a former one of these people myself, like I really think that it's like a huge problem in our society.
Did
Like
you have that?
what?
Did you have that inferiority complex?
The thing with me with debate, the reason why I always got into debate versus math, like I was actually like really gifted in math as a child. I got a 5 on my Calc BC AP. I got a 5 on my physics AP. I scored an 800 on my math.
Same here.
Like I was really good at math, but for some reason I just never really liked it that much. It's just never really like brought out the passion in me. But you have a lot of people who are in debate who like literally like are very dumb, but they can read Judith Butler very quickly, and they can like recite, why, the question that you just posed to them is actually shows endemic racism. And it's like,
Yeah. So after I moved into our house, I became in college, like I started socializing and I became very articulate. In high school, I wasn't very articulate. I stuttered a lot, but I was really good at math and science. And I think those debate kids can take advantage of the fact that like I can think really well, but I couldn't explain my thoughts at the time. And so isn't there an intelligence to that, to being able to articulate well,
Oh, 100.
rather than just the tier one math or whatever you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, you are right that putting it in tiers is very reductive, and like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
let's finish that. And like so one of the things that actually like spurred me to create this channel initially, because it was initially just supposed to be focused on AI, and then I realized like I didn't care about it enough to make a video about it every single day. But like I saw a debate between like an AI safetyist who was clearly like a fake engineer who was actually like a debate kid, and like an actual engineer.
Yeah.
And like the AI safetyist ran circles around him because of that very dynamic, because he was trained in like
Oh.
debate. You know what I mean? And I think that like one of the problems with the accelerationist movement is that you have a lot of people who just don't know how to debate. They don't recognize the incredibly disingenuous traps that debate people set up for people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I don't recognize that today.
yeah. I mean, like, there is a suaveness to it, obviously. And like, I can't say it's not intelligent, but I just think that like people building cool stuff at the end of the day is much more socially beneficial for the world.
Okay, but going back to AI, don't you think
Yeah.
this debate bullshit is like, do you think the AI is just going to be so far above that it's not going to give a fuck? It's going to be like, whatever, I can build whatever I want. I can control anything I want. I can link into your brain. Why do I need to deal with articulation and debate and going back and forth with humans? How do you think it's going to even, well, why would, like, why do you think an AI is not going to have this hubris that it'll think that we're better and want to debate us and things like that? You know what I mean?
I mean, if AI wasn't spend its time sitting around debating a bunch of fucking virgins who want to like talk about
Well,
food.
or arguing, or it's I'm not even debating, dude. Like it could get like Terminator shit, like conflicting with humans, which
So
is what debate is kind of.
so my solution to that, and this is again like why I'm against AI safety, at least the proposals that they put forward, is I think the solution to that
Yeah,
is have a bunch of different AIs, right? Like if you just have like one or two AIs and they turn bad, then like we're fucked, right? But if you
yeah,
have OpenAI, if you have Google, if you have Grok, if you have like 15, 20 other LLMs, right? Then like, yeah, it's more
yeah,
likely that one of them is going to turn bad, but then like there's this countervailing force, and I think that the fight is not going to be AI versus humanity. I think the fight is going to be AI that aligns with a particular group of humans versus AI that
yeah.
aligns with another group of humans. You know what I mean? Like I think it's going to be this
So Democrat AI versus Republican AI or some shit
basically
like that.
Democrat AI versus Republican AI, American AI versus Chinese AI,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's one thing that I think a lot of people like don't really think about enough is how fucking scary China is. That China,
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I'm scared. Don't worry, bro.
so like
Don't worry.
just to put it into context. So have you ever read the book
Ah,
1984 by George Orwell?
yeah, yeah. Of course, George Orwell. Yeah, yeah.
So like the story of that book is basically George Orwell was and I actually feel like a very similar like progression to myself in this matter. Like George Orwell was a liberal, right? And then he went to Spain, and
A
Spain
lib.
was a civil war between the fascists and the communists, right? And he like
Okay.
fought on the side of the communists against the fascists. And then he came back to England, and he was just like, guys, these communists are out of their fucking minds. These guys are crazy. Like they might be
Yeah.
scarier than the fascists. And so he wrote 1984.
Damn.
And 1984 is basically Stalinist Russia with advanced technology. And that
But
is
isn't it more
China.
fascism? It's more like fucking Big Brother is watching you in police state shit, which sounds more like, I guess it could be either one, right? I don't know.
So it was specifically about the Stalinists, just because of the way
Okay.
that the totalitarianism is kind of structured, and like that's basically what China is now. China is basically 1984. And like,
I think it's a bit of an exaggeration. They still are. They still have capitalism. People that are starting countries and doing shit. They're just not letting like Facebook and Amazon. They have their own Facebook and Amazon, and they're doing it from within.
unless
So
criticize the government and then you disappear for 6 months.
yeah,
Like
but just don't criticize. Don't be fucking Jack Ma and criticize the government. If you would just get that money, get laid, leave the government out of it. Like, what's the point of criticizing the government?
If I was a Chinese billionaire, I would slowly convert all of my money to US dollars and start hiding it away in other countries. And then once I got to like $50, I would just be like, all right, I'm leaving. Like I'm done.
Well, I don't think they do it for the money, dude. I think they do it because they want to fucking build something. And then like
That's true.
if you get in the way of what the government, just like I mean, I like America because we can criticize the government and give him shit. But if you're there and you have a really good thing going, why criticize the government? Well, okay, you're already a fucking billionaire, Jack Ma. What is the government? This might be the stupidest shit I've ever said in my life. It sounds stupid as I'm saying it, but like, why go against the fucking government if you have a good thing? And like, it's still, isn't China still kind of capitalism where they compete against each other to start companies, and like the shittier company will lose. The government's not gonna bail out any fucking dumbass companies, right?
Yeah, I mean like the issue with the Chinese economy, and they're kind of like starting to feel this right now, is that they literally have like cultural commissars in each company that report directly to the government. So basically you have co-CEOs.
Okay.
You have like
Yeah,
CEO, and then you have the guy who reports to the government. And like we actually have like kind of a version of that in America that's like really watered down, but that's like basically what modern day HR has become. You know what I mean? Like queuing.
no, but America can.
Sorry, continue.
But we can lobby the government, and if you're rich enough, you can do whatever the fuck you want in America, which is a huge issue too. But then in China, you have to submit to the government. There's no amount of lobbying that'll get you out of anything.
Yeah,
I feel like everything we've said has been kind of okay, but then I don't really know shit about China. A lot of that shit sounded pretty dumb. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna continue because this is a fucking podcast. They don't listen to us for intelligence, dude. They need entertainment.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about China, but I forgot what it was.
Well, how China is a police state a little bit, like 1984.
Yeah.
Anything related to that?
Yeah, we can just move on.
No, I mean, no, I like China too, dude. Like, actually, I don't know how I feel about China. I might take that back. If the CIA is listening to me, I love America. Okay, let's go. If the CIA is listening to this fucking podcast, I'm like, yo, get a fucking life, CIA. This is the dumbest shit of all fucking time.
Yeah,
I mean, I am brown, so like maybe I'm on a watch list, dude. Who knows?
Dude, I have to say, like one time that I got really pissed off is I was at an airport in Malaysia, and I was behind an Indian guy, and like I think that there's some groups in India who just wear a lot of jewelry, just a lot of jewelry.
Yeah.
And literally this guy, and like I'm not saying this to paint the whole culture, it's just this one dumbass. Like he didn't understand that the metal detector detects all metal. So what he would do is he would take off one piece of jewelry, put it in the thing, go through the metal detector, and then be shocked that the rest of his jewelry set off the metal detector. So he literally like took off jewelry one by one for 15 minutes.
Oh, damn, dude.
I was like, dude, just take off everything. Just take off everything. Just all you got. Just put it in the fucking thing.
Well, he sounds like a fucking absolute douchebag. I don't know why people need to wear them. I mean, girls wear like bangles and shit. I get that. I guess like your women can wear that much jewelry. I'm like, if you're a dude, the only acceptable jewelry is like if you're metal, you can wear earrings, and if not, wear a cross and a chain, and that's it. I don't know why you need to wear anything more than that. Dude, but Indians find a way.
I don't know why you're wearing any jewelry as a man. Like, I don't know why you're wearing any jewelry whatsoever. Just like what?
Actually, I wanted to get my ears pierced, but like I was like, yeah, is that kind of a bitch move to do? I don't know.
I would make fun of you constantly for that. Like if you showed up to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's way worse shit to make fun of me for. No, but dude, it's metal to get like ears pierced and have like fucking eyeliner and shit. And I'm pretty metal, but like it is a little girly. Like if you're really metal, you should be in the mosh pit punching people. And I only bring this up because I was at a concert this weekend. I had a great time. Yeah, I love metal. It's my favorite. Huh?
Did you say you were in Austin?
At a concert this weekend.
Oh, nice. dude.
Yeah,
But
going back to like Indians at the airport, just like because I think this podcast was supposed to be like haterade, and I had something that I wanted to hate on, and it's like there's gonna be a little. I don't know if we're not editing it out. We're not editing shit out, dude. You know what? Fuck it, dude. Indians got to get it together. Look, the smell. I wear deodorant. Most Indians wear deodorant. The ones that don't make us all fucking look bad. I was at the airport, and then I went up an elevator, and then like the guy I got in the airport, he was a smelly Indian dude. And we both got out of the elevator, and all these white people were looking at us like, "Oh God, look at those smelly Indians." And I'm like, "I'm not with this fucking guy."
dude,
And
I
I
would
just want to like,
say Indians are actually one of the better smelling people. Like
you think so?
because I think it's because of the stigma, and so every single Indian like corrects. It's just like I'm not gonna be that guy. You know what I mean? So like Indians are
No, no. So,
very
so
good smelling. Although I do actually have to tell a funny thing. So like my
yeah, go
Airbnb
ahead.
in India was the one Airbnb I stayed in so far where the shower was broken, like the shower unit.
Yeah.
And I was laughing at myself. I was like, it's kind of funny that like India is the one country that I can't shower in.
I'm actually surprised that I thought as a white guy you would just pile on to the Indian shit. That's actually very big of you to take the opposing stance to Indian smelling. So I agree with you that the Indians in America, a lot of them overcorrect. Like, in fact, my friend was at a wedding and he said like it was an Indian wedding and all the aunties put their arms in the air and he's like, it smelled like shit. Because I think what they do is like it's a lack of antiperspirant and it's cologne and perfume. And then I'm like, but then you're just putting cologne and fucking body odor. So
Yeah,
nobody wants shit. So and also, like as an Indian kid that grew up in a white neighborhood, like I never smelled bad, but like I got so much shit about like fucking Indian smelling. Maybe I have PTSD and and this is my therapy coming out. Maybe I got PTSD and that's why I'm very sensitive to other Indians that smell.
yeah. Please don't make us look bad. No, no,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. I'm
like so Polish people have a similar type of thing where I was teased my entire childhood for being stupid, like Polish jokes.
really?
Yeah, dude, Polish like
Well, I think I've heard about that. The Polish people are stupid.
one thing that non-white people don't realize about white people is that like there are insane divisions within white people. And so
Yeah.
Indians a lot of times be like, no, I'm South Indian, I'm not North Indian. But we'll think that like
Yep.
Irish people and Polish people are the same. But like, yeah, so Polish people have this stigma of being very stupid. And
Uh,
so all Polish, well, there's a huge contingent of Polish people in America who just studies, and this is like my family, studies so insanely hard because it's like we don't want to be those stupid Polish people. And then we see stupid Polish people, and we have the same reaction that you do about smelly Indian people. We're just like, you fucking off. Get your shit together.
Wait, what are Cossacks?
What?
Are Cossacks not? No, Polak is what Polish people are.
Yeah.
What is a Cossack again? Is that Russian or some shit?
So a Cossack is not like a slur or anything. It's basically like Russian cavalry. And so what
I thought it was
happens?
a Polish person. Oh,
No, no. A Cossack is
oh,
like,
Polak is Polish.
yeah. People will say like Cossacks. Cossacks are people who like rape and pillage people.
Oh, okay. So do
Yeah.
they call Polish people that?
No,
Because I
no.
feel like I heard that some.
We're Polacks. Polak is how you say Polish person in Polish.
Yeah.
So that's why we're that. But people make a lot of stupid jokes about Polish people.
Do you want to make the? Let's go look up Poland average IQ. I'm curious. What do you think? Guess.
I mean, I don't really like take
Let's
stock.
America average IQ. Say that again.
I mean, the average IQ should be 100 because IQ is a standardized.
But that's around the world.
Yeah.
It should be standardized, yeah, but different countries have it different.
Great inflation. That's what that is.
Yeah. Oh, 35 smartest countries.
The smartest.
Okay, so some sources say 96 and others say 92.
For Poland.
But America is generally around 98.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Okay, wait. This is weird. Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
but they're saying the average IQ worldwide is roughly 82. Shouldn't it be 100? Like,
should be 100.
what the fuck?
Like
was it 100 at one point and everyone's getting really stupid now?
It not only should be 100, like literally it is 100. Like
By definition.
Yeah, by definition, it's 100. Like there's no.
Oh, okay.
way that it's 82. That's a
This is, I just looked this up on, well, this is just the first Google result that came up. It
yeah.
says the average IQ in the United States is between 97 and 98, depending on the source. The average IQ worldwide is roughly 82. I'm like,
That's
and but like, bro, there's like villages in like the fucking Amazon that haven't contacted humanity. They can't measure those people's IQ.
yeah. I mean, also like the IQ is like a very biased test. You know what I mean?
I
Like
agree.
that's for very. I mean, like I think similar to like me not respecting debaters, like because I'm very good at standardized tests, I just have a very little amount of respect for them. I think.
Yeah.
Like,
I outworked for my high SAT grade. I always got B's in English when I was in school. I always got A's in everything except English. But then like I never, when I took the SAT, I did well in math and fucking which one? Writing, right? And
yeah,
then the critical reading, I got a 690. That was my best score. I never could get above a 700. I was so bad at critical reading. So that's
yeah.
kind of why I had respect for those debate people. I'm like,
Okay.
those guys were getting 800 in critical reading. This shit is so subjective and stupid, and I never understood it. So like,
Yeah, I
everyone's
mean,
different though.
one funny thing with the SATs for me is that like my mom made me take it again, and I was so pissed at
Yeah.
her because I was like, I got a 2260. I was like, Mom, like why do I have to take this again? But it's a crazy immigrant parents, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah. Well, I got a 2000 something, and then I took it again, and then I got a 22 something, and then I'm like, yo, fuck that shit, dude. I'm done. That was lit.
yeah.
But like, yeah, what were we getting? We were getting into it. Oh yeah, like
So
IQ
like
and
Polish
shit.
people are being stupid. Um,
Yeah, Polish. Well, what other good Polish stereotypes are there? Do you guys have good food and shit or no?
no, terrible food. Polish people hate Polish food. Actually, like the weird thing about
Oh,
Poland now is that the food in Poland is actually really good. And my theory about that is that
yeah.
like, one of the problems that I've noticed with food in so like if you get like Indian food in Spain, we're talking about this. Like the problem with Indian food in Spain is that it's built for a Spanish palate. And if
Yeah.
those two things don't align, then it comes out really poorly. The nice thing about Polish food is that Polish people hate Polish food so much that when we make Indian food, we make Indian food. Like when we make pizza, we
Oh,
make
okay.
pizza. Like we're trying to do it as close to the thing as possible because we hate our own food. I've never met a Polish person who likes Polish food. It's terrible.
So I heard that Japan does that too. I heard pizza in Japan is amazing. Is that bullshit?
I've actually didn't get pizza in Japan because
Oh, okay.
I love sushi so much that I made
Yeah,
I was
same.
eating it for 2 weeks. I got sushi 21 times. Like,
Oh yeah, dude. Is it bad for you? Do you get mercury poisoning
I
if
don't,
you have too much sushi?
if
Wait. So Polish food, okay. Wait, and if you don't mind me asking, like, are Polish people fat, or or is it just you, or is it common?
just me.
Like, if that's a okay, is that a
Polish
common like normal thing?
Polish men are kind of like stout and chunky. I mean the thing for me is that like even in my periods of my life, like you know I would go to the gym like twice a day, right? Like I would go to the gym for like
Yeah.
2-3 hours a day. I would only eat a salad and protein. Even then, I still had fat on my gut. It's just like Polish people just can't get that off for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, that's okay.
Like
I heard the girls are hot, right? Aren't the girls like the
um,
hottest in the?
so it's one of those things. Like I feel like it might be similar for Indians, right? If you're an Indian kid, you either like Indian girls or you hate Indian girls. You know what I mean? Like for me as a Polish guy, like I hate Polish girls. Like so,
Ah,
y'all can have them. I don't want them because the thing about Polish girls is the Polish girls just wear you down and destroy you. Like it is their
that
goal.
sounds like Latinas. You said.
What?
You said that's what Latinas do. That's just probably what women do. Like,
Latinas
we're being
will
honest.
Latinas
Oh,
will,
okay.
but like they
Uh,
don't. Polish women play the long game. They just
okay.
methodically take away your will to live over the course of like 50, 60 years. So,
How do you know that it's happening though?
you know,
You
I'm
feel it? Do you feel your life force drain?
I'm like so both my parents moved into America in 1983. So like I'm
Yeah.
extremely Polish. Like I spent cumulatively maybe like 3-4 years in Poland. I speak Polish. You know, I actually so I can't read in Polish or I can't read in Polish well. And so like I
Okay.
I started using because I'm using Duolingo to learn Portuguese and I started
Yeah.
learning Polish via Duolingo, and I realized I'm illiterate in Polish. I never realized
Oh,
what
okay.
being illiterate is like until Polish. Like I
Yeah.
literally the way that I would solve problems is I would literally, because it forces you to like make sentences and stuff, right? I would click on each Polish word to hear what it sounds like, and then construct a sentence based off of that. Like I am illiterate in Polish.
Well, who cares? You can speak it.
Yeah,
It's all that matters, right?
yeah. I don't want to like.
What does Polish sound like? Is it sexy? Can you say some shit?
No, Polish is not sexy.
Oh damn, it's not like French or Italian.
No, Polish is just a bunch of hard chuz and shuz. Yeah, ja mówię po polsku. Ja nie jestem each time, you know, just Stu's
No, I'm
public.
not aroused.
Yeah, it's not,
I'm not aroused, man.
it's not right. But Polish women have like a very high pitched voice. So I think that like when you
Oh,
combine those two together, like, you know, American
yeah.
got unattractive. All I can hear is my aunt yelling at me. You know,
That's how I feel about Indian accents too. It's like it kind of stresses me out because I hear them like, "Vijay, what the fuck are you doing?" Like some shit like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But you know, Arabic people, dude. So I think ISIS and Al Qaeda just like ruined what Arabic actually sounds like because they're out there like like that shit. And then like I heard just like normal people speaking it, and they're like, and I'm like, yo, that's like fucking sounds like a nice language actually.
Yeah, dude, I was in
So
Morocco.
maybe that's
I was in Morocco.
huh?
They spoke a lot of Arabic, and it's like it's a very beautiful language. To be honest with you, like I like it a
Oh,
lot.
cool.
I actually haven't thought about ISIS. I want to hear
You
your.
haven't thought about ISIS in a while?
So you know how like the CIA like waterboarded people and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Guantanamo Bay, let's go.
yeah, so I had this thing happen to me. It was a long time ago. I'm just gonna like tell the very brief version of the story, but like there's a much longer story to this. But like, you know, like I was having sex with this girl, and she like made me like make all these promises to her while we're having sex. She was like, because I was like,
Okay.
she's like, take me to Japan, right? I'm like, what am I gonna do? Say no? Like, yeah, like sort of had to go. I just said yes to all this shit, right? But wait,
Is
this
this
was
in the middle of the sex or
in the
afterwards?
middle. In the middle. I didn't lie to
Okay.
get into bed. It was just while we're in the shower, she was like, you know, I was like, what? Anyway, so here's my thought process. Like, we never, I don't think we had to like waterboard Al Qaeda. I think what we had to do is bring in a porn star, start jerking
Yeah.
it off, and then
Yep.
just stop midway through and just say, "Where's Bin Laden?" After three,
Oh shit.
they're giving you the information. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Like right before you come, like his blue balls are a bitch, dude. Nobody wants that.
Dude, nobody wants to do
So
this.
yeah, that I think that's a because dude, like torture doesn't work. They'll say the fastest thing to quit them. Might as well give them some pleasure, then deny it at the last second. So I had a similar idea for solving school shootings. It would be universal, you know, like universal basic income. It would be like universal basic blowjob. Like every year you get
Yeah.
one, government provided. You get a
Yeah.
nice girl to come do it, and then like you know if you're about to like fucking shoot up a school, like most of those kids aren't getting laid, dude. If you get one blowjob a year, we'll probably cut it down by like 90%, I think.
Oh, 100%.
That's my idea. Yeah.
It's a lot of like pent up male aggression. And I think that like
Yeah, it sucks that men are so fucking pussy now, dude. Like they can't handle it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's also like, you know, and I was talking to my friend about this, like the groups that were like kind of in power before, it's becoming worse to be them. Now it's becoming a little better to be a woman, better to be minority. I think it's getting worse to be a white guy, worse to be a man a little bit. And so women are kind of out earning men now in the workplace a lot. Women are going to college more than men, and they're not gonna want to like bang these fucking bum ass dudes. And then yeah, like yo, what you get left with is like the school shooter incel OnlyFans dudes.
Dude, it's becoming like a real social problem right now. Because like I mean you see this a lot, like I've been seeing a lot of
Is it only in America, by the way?
what?
Is that only in America or is it everywhere that men are falling?
Right now it's mainly in America, but like it's happening all
Yeah.
over the world. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, so like I see this, and again, it might just be my algorithm, but I see these videos pop up of these women who are like, you know, I'm 32, I can't find a man, like that type of stuff, and it's sort of negatively
Yeah.
women too, right? Because it's like if you want a man who makes more money than you, and if you get to a point where men make less money than women, then you're just
Yeah.
not going to be able to find a man for yourself. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also happening so fast. Like women entered the workforce like 50 years ago and college, and now they're already like fucking doing better. But like, think about like the dumbest fucking dude, the dumbest person you know. There's obviously a lot of dumb idiot women, but like, dudes are fucking idiots, bro. Some of these, and dudes are also geniuses, the smartest people on earth and the dumbest people on earth. It's like this weird dichotomy.
Yeah, and I was actually talking about this with a Brazilian because we're talking about school shootings in America because people bring that up a lot. And like
Oh, for sure, yeah.
thing about America is that we are a feast or famine society, right? And it's
Oh, yeah.
like the same society that produces Bill Gates produces school shooters. And I mean, like,
Hmm.
you know, I don't want to sound morbid when I say this, but like, you know, like having the type of culture, like you're gonna have outliers that are just not gonna, and it's like if you try to like work on the levers too much, then you're gonna take down the
Yeah.
exceptional people as well. You know what I mean? Like, so it is like a real
And it's
fucked up decision you have to make as a society, right? Like,
and that's why I think like the government doesn't want to do things like I think George Carlin had this bit. He's like the poor are just there to scare the shit out of the fucking middle class. And
yeah,
like I think kind of the reason why America is so successful is America's like fucking rich, high GDP, everything. We have the resources to do anything you want if you fucking work hard. But then there's no fucking safety net. Then you're fucked. Like you're homeless. You're fucking addicted to drugs. There's people pushing that shit on you. So there's all these factors that just try to make your life as fucking shitty as possible. But then if you work through them, you fucking become a beast.
so
And that's why everyone comes to America.
I actually have to kind of push back on that a little bit. You
Oh,
know,
go
mine.
ahead.
So like, similar to you, like, went to college, went to Silicon Valley, was making a lot of money. And then I'm pretty sure I told you this. Like I quit tech for like 2 years because I wanted to like focus on screenwriting. And like
Yeah, you told me.
I was like waiting tables because I was like, I really want to like prove my dedication to myself, right? I mean, you know this, it's hard to balance both, right? And so so like I was like broke for like 2 years, right? Like waiting
Oh,
tables.
I did not know that. No.
I mean, like,
Sorry, I'm coughing, dude. I took an allergy shot. Continue.
no worries. I mean, to be fair, part of it is also like me just, not saving up a lot of money when I was working in tech. But like I was like, waiting
Yeah.
tables. I was broke and stuff. And like, first of all, like I actually don't think being broke in America is that bad. I think people really overplay it. I well,
It seems like it's pretty bad.
I was thinking about this, like if you actually like gave someone a choice, or rather like if you let someone live a month in both shoes and let them choose of a person being broke in America versus being a lord in like medieval England in like 1400s, I think every single person would choose being broke in America today. Like the problem is that,
Of course.
that our baseline is so screwed up, where our baseline is what we see on Instagram, that we don't realize how blessed we are, right? Like, for example, right? Like, yes, like, you can't order Uber Eats every day, right? But like, you can still order Uber Eats from time to time. It's like, if you think about it, like, the fact that you can order food to your home via an app is such insane wealth in an objective level. It's like,
Yeah.
I have a magic metal box and I could just like get one of the world's greatest chefs to make a private dinner for me and then have somebody bring it to my house and it costs $20 or $30. And
But
by the way,
almost everyone can do that now.
exactly. And like you have
It's
Netflix,
not even a class. Yeah.
you have access to all of the world's art for very cheap. And like I noticed this, that a lot of the people, so what one thing that would happen a lot when I was working at the restaurant, because I was in a mindset of, like, I'm doing this for 2 years, and then if it doesn't work out, I'm going back to tech, right? Like, this is temporary,
Okay.
right? Which is what I'm doing. I'm back in tech right now, right? So I had a lot of people who like, would say, I would like talk about different types of jobs. They'd be like, I want to do that. And I'd be like, okay, well, here's how you do that. Like here's a blueprint for you to do this thing. Right. And by the way, I still know a huge amount of people in tech. I can help you get a job. Right. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about like engineer. I'm talking about like a system admin or some shit. Right. These people make $100,000 a year and they don't do that much work. Right. And you can break into
Mhm.
that. Right. And so like, I would say like here's the course online. Here's what you do, and here's how you do that. And then 3 weeks later, they'd be like, "Hey man, I just don't have the time. I just have the time to do it." I was like, really? That's weird because it's 3:30 a.m. right now. We're at a house party drinking. You could be at home working right now, but instead it seems like you do have the time. You're just choosing to spend it on different things. All this to say that like
Gee.
going from like a very rich area to being very broke, it actually had the exact opposite effect on me that I think it had, where I was just like, these people don't really work that hard. Like, about like being a waiter is not
So
that.
you're saying that poor people are lazy and that's why they're poor?
Like
Okay,
I'll
continue.
say in the year 2024, if you really dedicate yourself to it, whatever your station life in America, you should be able to get a well-paying job within 2 years.
2 years, dude? Even if you become like an electrician and stuff, you can go to a trade school, I guess. But okay, what about in like Europe? Okay, and so dude, this is all shit because like I haven't been traveling too much. I thought that in like Europe and Canada, if you're broke, the welfare system is really good. People can have housing. I thought the problem in America, why there's so many homeless, is because there's not enough housing and people are struggling to compete for the housing market.
Oh,
And now you're telling me that it's easy to be broke in
that's
America?
that's 100% true, right? Like again, like I'm not saying that there's no problems, right? I'm just saying that like in general, like so I actually had some coworkers who did this who were like, yeah, well, like I had this one coworker who she got pregnant, right? And she was a waitress, and she's like, I can't do this anymore with a kid. And she was like, I need to start studying. And then within 2 months, she got, it wasn't like an insanely high paying job, but it was like a $70,000 a year office job. And she was like, I'm gonna move out
Oh
of Los
shit.
Angeles. I'm gonna, but it was like an online job, right? And like,
That's cool.
she's like, I'm gonna move out of Los Angeles. I'm gonna get my cost of living down, and I'm gonna raise this kid. You know what I mean? It's just like that is very attainable in America if you want to
Well,
do
you're
it.
speaking anecdotally. Then why are so many people not doing it? Maybe these are just a few people that are getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's anecdotal. Like, you know, um, yes, like, but I just got very strong impressions from these interactions that I had. And maybe it was just I happened to come across a uniquely lazy group of people. But,
So why is everyone bitching all the time? Why are these poor people bitching if it's that easy to change it?
I think that what happened, and this really like changed my opinion on leftism a lot, is that there are a lot of people who make money off of telling poor people that the system is fucked and you can't do anything to solve it. Like, we need radical revolution. Now sign up to my online, channel of like $16 a month and buy my hat. And these people are
So you're
making
saying it's a grift?
it's a grift. Yeah, these people and by the way, like I'm not saying that this has always been the case. Like in the year 1980,
Yeah.
probably completely different. I'm just saying that right now, especially with like how easy it is to get online work, like contracting,
Yep.
that type of stuff. Like if you really are dedicated to it, it is something that's very attainable for most Americans to be making a decent salary within a couple of years.
And also okay, so like I went to college, I got a scholarship, and I went to and everything ended up good for me. I grew up like pretty fucking privileged. What about all these people that have like fucking student loans that they're still paying off and aren't able to find a job? How is that even happening to so many people?
Because like the thing is that a lot of people so I actually saw this one video, and again, like this is kind of anecdotal, but like this is like from what I've been seeing, I think this is the case, is that when people say I can't find a job, they're saying I can't find the job that I want. Right. So like
Okay.
I I I saw this woman and she made a video. She was like, I have 2 master's degrees, and the only job I can get is doing support at a software company. And I'm like, well, first of all, support at a software company gets paid a lot of money. Like CS people in
Yeah.
Silicon Valley, like you're not making 200,000, but within like 3, 4 years, you could be making 120, 130, $140,000, which is a very good
Yep.
salary, even in San Francisco, right? Like San Francisco is
Mhm.
very expensive. If you're making $130,000, you're fine, right? And
Mhm.
I think a lot of people just look down on a lot of different types of labor that they just don't want to do. And so it's like I can't find
Well,
a
what
job.
do they have the master's degrees in? Like philosophy or like what? Like
Yeah,
that's
like
another
philosophy,
question.
art history. They want to be like a multi-book published author. And they just expect someone to answer.
If you want to do that, don't go to college and major in. If you want to be like a screenwriter, maybe you can go to college and major it. Fucking screenwrite, fucking practice your craft. That's what like I mean, I don't know if you're still doing screenwriting, but like it seems like a lot of people go to college expecting to get a job in a creative field, but don't own their creative shit.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Like I would talk to other screenwriters, and I was like, "What are you working on?" I was like, "Oh, I've been working on this one script for like 6 months now." I'm like, and they don't even have like a draft done. I'm like,
yeah.
get to fucking work, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like I was reading this interview with Steph Curry, and then he's like, "How long? Like, do you think someone is gonna come around that is a better shooter?" And he's like, "Probably not, because no one has taken as many shots as I have in life." I've taken so many fucking shots in order to be able to become this, and
yeah,
like maybe, and like I play a lot of music too, and like all the kids that stopped being good at music, they just stopped practicing,
I,
and.
I
No,
mean,
I feel like I went on a. What was I trying to say? I went on a tangent.
creative fields have a lot of luck to it, right? And like for me, I was just like, look, like I'm not dedicating more than 2 years to this. You know, I'm out. I'm done. Right.
Why not, dude? Keep going.
I mean, to be honest, like, this channel right now is like my creative outlet. Like I'm hoping to build it into like
Yeah,
a
okay.
cool thing, but like I'm not like writing scripts and like pitching them anymore. But like, you know, like those types of those types of jobs, right? Like it's very like winner take all, right? But like software engineering
Yeah.
type of
Same thing with
job
music. Yeah.
where like it's not winner take all. You could very you know like if you go to a boot camp, if you study, like you know, like we have a friend. I don't want to like say any names on this podcast, but he was telling me like you know he dropped out of high school. He was a mechanic, and then he like went to a boot
Yeah.
camp. He started making 80K, and then within 6 months he was making like 140K, and then like now he's making a
Yep.
shit ton of money, right? And it's like
So that's what I tell people to do. Like, and to get back onto the staying poor, like the reason I was even saying, like, I was just asking you because you said that you were broke and you said it's easy to escape. Like, all my friends that are currently like unemployed and looking, I'm like, you can go on fucking Coursera, learn some fucking Python, learn some data science shit, and make yourself much, much more employable. But
yeah,
nobody ever fucking listens to me. And I'm right about everything, dude.
dude, like it's the exact same dynamic that I have with these people. We're just like learn
Yeah.
these fucking things. And by the way, you could also just start like I'm still doing like you know like I prefer the freedom of freelance work over like actually like getting a job because I can do these types of
Yeah.
meetings, say whatever I want. I don't really care. But
Yeah, I gotta worry. Hopefully, I haven't said anything too fucked up. I don't think.
no, I think you've been fine. But like, you know, you can literally just develop a skill and just go online, go to a site like Upwork or Fiverr, and just start taking jobs, build a resume, and then just start making more money. Yeah, I mean, like again, like I don't blame poor people.
How do we help poor people? Let's end it soon, just because I got shit to eat. So, because we both know all this shit, how do we help for poor people? Rather, this is a nice way to end it from all the racism that we're just getting into.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really said anything racist, but
No,
yeah,
we haven't. We're just getting in the race.
yeah, but like yeah, I mean, like the way to end it is to counteract the narratives. I mean, you and I were talking about how like I made a video about Hassan, whatever his last name, Piker. Like,
Hiker, yeah.
I think that like this is like the corrosive aspect of a lot of like socialist type of things. Just like the world is stacked against you. You have no hope. We need to have a socialist revolution. And it's like, first of all, socialist revolutions have never worked out well. Just but putting that aside, like for you personally, you can do stuff. You can take control of your life. One of my favorite quotes is from Shakespeare. It's the fault of Brutus lies not in our stars, but in ourselves. And it's like, you know,
Yeah.
and by the way, like I'm strictly talking about America. Like if you're in like the Congo, like you know,
Yeah, then you fucked, bro. Yeah, that's very different. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's nice to get into American then. Okay, I mean, it just seems like everyone's saying like, dude, it's impossible to escape your fucking economic class in America. That seems to be the narrative that I keep hearing.
yeah.
So,
I personally, again, like you know, from somebody who like came from like a very like you know like a very wealthy place, Silicon Valley, to literally like my job. It was crazy. Like my job, like from 6 months, was literally going from like making six figures doing sales to like cleaning up dirty plates just because I want to like prove my dedication to it. It's like it's actually not as abysmal as people think it is. Like plus like people talk about like
tell
50
that to the left.
what?
I said, tell that to the left, bro.
I'm trying.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this is a good place to stop here. I'll stop the recording and then we'll.
Yeah, dude. Okay, yeah.